Amazon, Taobao, Lazada. These are just some of the many online shopping sites that Singaporeans love to use. According to JP Morgan's 2020 e-commerce payments trends report, the cross-border e-commerce market in Singapore is worth 2.9 billion Singapore dollars. That's 35% of the total e-commerce market here. Given the huge numbers, experts weren't surprised by the government's decision to extend GST to include low-value items below $400 purchased online and imported via air or post.
Our current GST rules actually give a GST price advantage to the overseas sellers. So come 1st Jan 2023, overseas sellers or marketplaces will need to be GST registered in Singapore if their sales of low-value goods exceed certain threshold. Okay, so with their registration, they will need to collect 7% GST on the sales of the same pair of shoes to the consumer. So with this, it helps to level the playing field between domestic and overseas sellers.
The move has been applauded by local retailers and business associations, many of whom had been calling on the government to impose this for some time. But will it be enough to push Singapore consumers back to local retailers?
I personally feel that it's not going to really help because the competition now is truly global among all the big e-commerce players, the Amazons, the Lazadas. And even if they have to absorb the 7% GST for low value purchases, the big e-commerce giants have the benefit of scale in terms of operations, in terms of competitive pricing, in terms of variety, in terms of fulfillment. Singapore consumers and shoppers are very practical and pragmatic. And it's up to the local retailers, honestly, with the benefit of leveling off of the GST, they really have to work harder to create that seamless shopping experience online. And that boils down to value, variety, fulfillment, convenience, and of course, competitive pricing.
Retailers counter that it is difficult to compete on price with online retailers, as they also have to contend with high rentals and business costs in Singapore.
In practical terms, it is not easy because the country of origin of the goods, they buy it at cheaper and they are not. The goods have been imported by local retailers, some of them, and all the importation cost is also quite high. And the season finish, then they have to mark down and sell. Therefore, everybody, if it is the off season, if old goods, they may mark down slightly. But if it is a current seasonal goods, they may not be willing to sell at a lower price like online prices.
Still, retailers are confident that the GST changes will help and would prefer it to be done sooner rather than later, as the industry has been hard hit by the COVID pandemic.
Every bit is helping the retail sector because even pre-COVID-19, the retail sector has been going through a tough time. The GST on the small value items, it's a good move. Retailers are welcoming this move and they should do it at a faster and very quickly so that the benefit goes to the retailers.
As for the online retailers, experts say that the GST changes will unlikely deter their expansion plans in Singapore or the region, as online shopping will likely remain popular.
GST is just one component. It is not a solution by itself. These low-value goods rules, which will be implemented on 1st Jan 2023, are very much similar to the rules already introduced elsewhere like Australia, New Zealand, Switzerland, UK, and come 1st July 2021, all the member states of the EU will be implementing that. So by 1st Jan 2023, I think most of these offshore retailers should be relatively familiar.
MoneyMind reached out to Amazon, Alibaba and Lazada. In a statement, Lazada said it supports the government's commitment to build a trusted e-commerce economy that protects the interests of consumers and businesses. The company said it would comply with local tax regulations and collaborate with legislators on digital tax initiatives that equitably benefit all relevant stakeholders. So where does this leave our local retail players? Prof. Shamdasani says the only way forward for them is to continue their digital transformation.
The future is omni-channel and its seamless integration, and giving customers the option to buy either online, via their phone, or in the store. And that requires also what I feel is the O2O services, online to offline, order online, pick up offline, and that seamlessness through O2O integration, online to offline services integration would further enhance the value of physical retailers. So they cannot avoid the fact that the world is shifting.